The three branches of government. First, starting off with the legislative branch, which is the Congress, meaning the House of Representatives and the Senate. There are 100 members for the Senate and 435 members for the House of Representatives. 2 senators for each state, and for the House of Representatives, it is based off the state's population. This branch is the law-making branch of government, meaning like they take a bill that's drafted and it's reviewed by the committee. The committee studies the bill and they can choose to approve it or not. Make changes to that bill as well. The bill passes, it moves on to one chamber. One or the either, I mean. The House of Representatives, they serve 2 years and the Senate serves 6 years. There is also the Speaker of the House. Our current Speaker is Mike Johnson. Our former Speaker was this crazy guy from California named Kevin McCarthy, I believe. But there is also something I forgot to mention. A part of the Senate is the filibuster. Basically where someone in the Senate talks a bill to death, meaning that they spend a very long time explaining why a certain bill should not be a law, to completely kill the bill and delay that bill and stop that bill. An example of the filibuster is the 1939 movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. The film shows corruption in the Senate. The film is directed by Frank Capra and stars the Hollywood actor James Stewart and the Hollywood actress Jane Arthur. The film itself is about the power of one individual fighting against the corrupt majority. Now the executive branch, which is the president, vice president, and his cabinet. Basically, the president chooses to sign their name on a law or bill, or they have the choice to veto it. If they veto it, 2/3 of the Senate majority can override it. The president also takes care of things such as foreign policy. Examples of foreign policy is Harry Truman, when he dropped the atomic bomb on those Japanese people living in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which led to the United States winning the Second World War. Another example of foreign policy is the amazing Ronald Reagan, when he took down the Berlin Wall, which helped the United States win the Cold War. The president also has executive order, meaning the president is allowed to do something without the Congress permission. For example, when Trump wanted to build that wall, he used his executive order. Now the judicial branch, which is the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court reviews the law to see if the law is constitutional. For example, Brown versus Board of Education related to segregation in public schools, which was unconstitutional. So the Supreme Court ending segregation in public schools, though public schools should not even exist in the first place. The Supreme Court has done other great things, for example, striking down Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness, because Biden forgiving student loan debt is completely unconstitutional and altruistic, because what about all of the people who did not go to college, or people who never had kids, or no one who sent their kids to college at all? So the Supreme Court struck down Biden's really stupid, evil, and immoral policy. Back in 2023, the Supreme Court did another amazing accomplishment by abolishing affirmative action. Affirmative action was really unconstitutional and immoral because it was complete racism and discrimination towards white students and Asian students by letting black students who did not meet the requirements for college, for example, reading, writing, and literacy. Those black students did not have that, but the universities were forced to allow them in because of affirmative action. So it was to promote black students and discriminate against the white and Asian students, who are way more qualified and a lot smarter. Because colleges and universities should not be discriminating against people based on the color of their skin. And that's exactly what affirmative action was. It hurted black people, white people, and Asian people. And it was just this really stupid policy, this immoral, evil act that should have never existed. And that is one of the greatest accomplishments that the Supreme Court has done. Also, there are 9 justices for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is appointed by the president, and there is no limit for the Supreme Court, meaning someone can be in the Supreme Court until the day they die. Example, Republican Supreme Court Justice Sandra O'Connor, who is the first woman to serve in the Supreme Court, appointed by Reagan. She spent 4 years in Supreme Court. People, for example, the AOC, they want to hurt the Supreme Court because people like her were arguing that there should be 12 justices instead of just 9. Actually, the Supreme Court, in my view, has become more right-wing, and that is a good thing for now. That's all I have for this video today. The next video will be on the Bill of Rights.